James 1 is this exquisite, beautiful Pinot Noirs next. This is from Bailey family. This is a 2017 vintage McMinnville Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. Stay tuned and I'll tell you about this wine. So before I get started, be sure to subscribe to this channel. If you've already subscribed, merci beaucoup to you. 2017 vintage, 140 cases produced in total. So being a tête de cuvée or a flagship wine, that's what you would expect. A very small quantity of this wine, 12.4% ABV, 40% new oak for 14 months, SRP of $115. Back label for you to look at here. And keep in mind, this producer is using, it's organic, it's also biodynamic. So when you have a dry farming situation, you are obviously helping the planet by not taking additional resources, but you're also training the vines to really dig for water. And oftentimes you're gonna have a much lower, say, production per acre hectare. Now on the back here it says, and it's also a live certified sustainable wine. I'll put more information on that down below as well, so you can look into that. Because that's a question I'm getting actually a lot more often than ever before about sustainability. Not just sustainability, but also, what are the growing conditions? Is it organic? Is it biodynamic? And so forth. So I think that's really important to look at. Also keep in mind, this is a 12.4% ABV. That's a gift unto itself. And so I think that's a really wonderful thing. So they say on the back label, just a bit of the copy, I'm not going to read all of it. We have captured the hill in the bottle. So they're talking about their estate, and their estate is about 50 acres, and that's going to be about 20 hectares in total. Now you're going to have on the following clones, you have 30-year-old Pomard, as well as Wadensville, 10-year-old 777. Very nice selection of clones, and very nice assembly altogether. And so I think it's absolutely captivating and wonderful. And when I thought about this wine, first I'm going to talk about just briefly about McMinnville AVA. So here's a map of McMinnville AVA, and that's where this producer is located. So McMinnville, among all United States American viticultural areas, which is AVA, and that is an elevation requirement. So at the minimum, vineyards need to be between, say, 200 feet above sea level, 61 meters, and a maximum of 1,000 feet or 305 meters above sea level. And so that's, I think, something that's really a nice feature, a rare feature. You see that obviously much more in Italy, for example, and probably in other places in the New World. My specialty has been Italy for quite some time. And so I look at that in terms of, comparing that. And so I think that's a really nice designation, and I think it's a designation that really promises certain fruit quality. So it's a higher elevation than you'd get, say, in other places in Oregon or even on the west coast of the United States. And so this is a AVA that's 600 acres planted in total, 243 hectares. The total area is actually much larger, of course, and that's not any surprise to any other AVA in the U.S. And total area is 40,500 acres or 16,390 hectares. What I was, pouring this wine, this nice voluminous Riedel glass, is, just smelling the wine, tasting the wine. There is something to be enjoyed on this wine, just a little more on my wine glass. The colorization is telling me just an optimum maceration, which I very much appreciate because I taste so many over macerated wines. And ultimately, yes, the skin contact will influence flavor at some level. To me, this is an authentic color. It's what I call cathedral stained glass window, just a very nice vitreous colorization, very nice, I would say, medium garnet colorization. And to me, I get some really exciting notes on this wine, but it's also, some wines I have to open up and keep them open up for an hour or 2 hours. So sometimes there's a, split between, how you taste them in terms of the experience on the palate versus the nose. And sometimes one might be a higher appreciation point than the other. And to me, this is really at that point where both the nose and the palate are just really just vivid and beautiful and gorgeous. So on the nose here, black fruit notes, black cherry, freshly sanded wood, fresh red rose petals, autumnal forest, and ground spices. Next is the palate characterization. So I very much enjoy the palate on this wine. The elegance comes through with a balance and noticeable acidity, striking notes of black cherry, blackberry, white pepper notes, a savory backbone, and a finish of purple flowers and dried herbs. And to me, this is just exquisitely beautiful, gorgeous, and one that's a nice, rare capture of obviously well-picked Pinot Noir fruit at the right time. Think about the ABV at 12.4%. There's a lot of character on this wine, and it's picked at the right time. right bricks content that is giving you the signature of 12.4% ABV. So enjoy this with your family and friends. Sip some of this wine before tasting with food. Definitely this is optimum with food, but definitely get the character of this beautiful wine, and you'll treasure it as well. So 96 points out of 100 points. More information on the producer down below, and definitely seek out, if you're looking for a really exquisite, beautiful Pinot Noir, this is probably my favorite Pinot Noir of this year. And it's also not every year I taste a 96 point Pinot Noir. So you can find me on social medias of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So let's stay connected there. Questions and comments down below. I'd like to hear that. And also give a like to this video, share this video. Stay tuned for more reviews at my wine tasting table. I will see you very soon. Santé.